JC? I don't know. I haven't had coffee. Will you just relax?
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
My name is Hope.
You got the whole crew mad at
It's a little fuzzy in my ear.
Yates on the board just walked out the room. I mean,
guys, it sounds like Freedom by Beyonce.
I threw my pen.
Can we just keep it real? This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I set you up there for failure. That's my bad.
We are presented by Progressive Insurance. My name is not any of those three. I'm Shay Cornett. He's Jordan Cornett. Thanks for being with us. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It is Thanksgiving, so what do we got today? We've got some football. Supposed to have 3 games. If you haven't heard by now, we only got 2. It is what it is. No Steelers, Ravens. So instead, we've got Cowboys and the Washington football team. A battle of 2 3-win teams in the NFC East.
Don't act like it doesn't mean something, though.
And I should not be making light of this because I'm more invested for some reason or another in the NFC East than I feel like any other division in football. I don't know why I care so much, but I feel fully invested. Let me just finish the second game.
You like a good comeback story.
I do. Texans Detroit is the second game of the day. So let's start, though, with the premier game now today.
Well, now because there's no Ravens Steelers, this feels like the big ticket on Thanksgiving.
This is the big ticket. Cowboys and the Washington football team. Now, this is why it's a big deal, people. Both teams are 3-7. Forget the record. It's over. The Eagles are 3-7-1. They're a half game above every other team in that division in first place. Whoever wins this game, I'm assuming there's going to be a winner, which is something I should never assume in the NFC East. This could very well end in a tie. Then we have a 3-way tie for first place. But whoever wins this game automatically propels himself to first place in the NFC East, which we all know that means first place in the NFC East. They get a playoff game at home. Yay. So that's why today means a lot. It's also the Cowboys, America's football team, playing the Washington football team, who have a really good comeback story, especially with their quarterback, Alex Smith. Now, go ahead. I know you're
It's time to dead all that about America's team. Not when you're playing like this. Look, there's still an infatuation with the polarizing Cowboys. I get it. But if I want to give, and if anybody wants to give these Cowboys any reason to talk about them, right? They've got our attention after what they did against the Vikings. Against all odds. Nobody thought they'd be able to do that. Now you're in a position to win back-to-back games. Something they haven't done yet this season. Something that doesn't happen at all in that NFC East. And as I look at this matchup, it comes down to the trenches. It's not a sexy matchup, and it's not going to be sexy with how the Cowboys are going to have to win this game. It's going to come down to offensive line play. And we know about the injuries that have been sustained by the Cowboys up front. But Zach Martin moving to right tackle. Gave them a little bit of J.U. Ice. Gave them some juice. Activated a run game, and Ezekiel Elliott all of a sudden surpasses a threshold of 100 yards rushing. And then it became a domino effect. You saw them. It's like they were building confidence because they're like, oh, it's working.
Hold on. Can we just skirt? Like, you're like praising the Cowboys for having solid offensive line play and Ezekiel Elliott rushing for over 100 yards. By the way, it's the first time he's rushed for over 100 yards this season.
What have you done for me lately, Shay? Is that what you say to me? I can't live off the past if, I've taken the trash out. I've cooked dinner. I've gone to the grocery store.
What are you doing right now? Are you comparing yourself to Ezekiel Elliott?
Why are you yelling at me? Can I finish? So if I've done stuff weeks ago, you don't care about that. It's what have you done for me, honey, lately? The Cowboys have done it lately. The last time we saw the Cowboys, they were doing it. And that's why, before I was so rudely interrupted, I'll tell you why this matters. Because this pass rush from Washington is my nemesis. What did that Washington pass rush do to me last week?
Okay, my husband here, Jordan Cornett, is from Cincinnati. Yes, he loves Skyline Chili, and he loves Joe Burrow.
Who doesn't love Joe Burrow?
Who the Washington football team knocked on the ground.
Maybe for a season and a half, we don't quite know yet. Washington, I will never forget this. I don't care if you change your name from football team to whatever. We got beef. We'll have that for another time. But when you look at it, Ryan Kerrigan, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, these guys also got after Andy Dalton, knocked him out of the game. And then it went in a lopsided manner, 25-3. Washington wins that first matchup. Mm-hmm. To me, this is going to be a game where can Andy Dalton stay upright? Can the Dallas offensive line activate that run game, get it going there? Then you get into the play action. You've got big-time playmakers. Dalton hasn't trusted Michael Gallup, their biggest, it seems like, stretch-the-field guy. Is this a game where he gets involved because he has some time to make some plays? One of the best pass defenses in the NFL is Washington. It's also because they don't give quarterbacks time. If Dallas can give Andy Dalton just a little bit of time, they're not getting home, and CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, along with Michael Gallup, can start making plays, I think this is a game where a few scores could put Dallas in position because their defense looked so much better last week. And I know, Shay, I know historically, I know what they've done all season too. But I'm living in the right now because that's what 2020's forced me to do. And I think this is the most talented team in the NFC East. I think this is an opportunity. Yes, this is the opportunity for these Cowboys to make a real statement. Statement is relative as we talk about the NFC East, but a statement, no doubt.
You just like that if you look on paper and they're playmakers, you like that the Cowboys have more than the Redskins.
So you didn't listen to anything I just said,
team.
Clearly.
No, I listened to everything you just said. I know you. That's what you're doing, okay? Washington is tied for the third most sacks in the NFL. They had 4 sacks and 6 quarterback hits last week against Cincinnati.
So it all goes back to Dallas's offensive line playing well.
Dallas's offensive line played well because they did some shuffling against the Vikings. The Vikings...
Very different team, you're right.
The Vikings have 4 wins. Let's just be clear who the Vikings are, okay? And I'm not hating on the Vikings.
How many wins does Washington have?
Because they have 3. But Jordan, I'm just saying...
It's a much better defense,
You are praising the Cowboys off of 1 week of work. 1 week!
You're doing the most. I'm not praising anybody. I'm just looking at the matchup in front of me and doing what I'm reasonably paid to do here. And that is talk about...
That was a shot at your boss. I'm just reasonably paid.
Reasonable is accurate. I'm doing the job I'm paid to do. And it's to pick a winner here. And to me, if I look at if we're tree-topping the NFC East, Dallas has the most talent. The Giants are a very close second.
Yeah, I would disagree.
Washington doesn't fit into that fold for me.
That's fine. And that's fair. I think the Giants have more talent than Dallas, far and away. I don't know that they have more talent on paper, but they seem to use a line from Lamar Jackson. They seem to want it more. They just seem like they're more in the hunt, and we can dive more into that later because I fully think that the Giants are winning this NFC East.
We didn't even get to the other game because this 3-7 matchup of teams is juicy.
I know, it is. We're asking on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed to describe an NFL team using a Thanksgiving dish. For example, we're over here talking a lot about the Cowboys. The Cowboys, and I'm speaking for you, we're just going to call them the turkey, right? You got to have them on Thanksgiving Day, and it's kind of the staple of Thanksgiving, but it's not really the highlight. It's not really the highlight on the plate. You feel me? So we're asking you to describe that. You need a turkey on Thanksgiving, but it's not the best thing on the table. You get it. Be a part of K, Sean, J, Will, and Zubin Nation on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed. ESPN Nation is presented by Dr. Pepper. It's official. College football's back, and so is your favorite Dr. Pepper-loving college football town, Fansville. Head to a store near you to treat your inner college football fan to an ice-cold 20-ounce Dr. Pepper today. Keyshawn, J, Will, and Zubin is presented by Progressive Insurance. Bart Scott's going to join us next on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line in 5 minutes. Do you have a good one for Thanksgiving? I have a really good one. I do,
but before we get to that, not all motor oils are created the same. Motor oil made from crude oil contains impurities. Pennzoil synthetic motor oils are made from natural gas. Its base oil is 99.